Hello and welcome to the Adventra podcast, your go to show for everything travel. We are excited to introduce you to Adventra, a platform where you can not only plan and book trips but also create your own circles, organize exciting events, and invite like minded people. Today we are joined by Sneha Khanvelkar, a traveler, author, Rotary member, Argentine tango dancer, and someone who has worn many hats from teaching to working in IT as a technical writer. Sneha's journey is one of reinvention and discovery. As a traveler, Sneha has explored places near and far, turning each journey into a story of resilience, discovery, and joy. Her experiences reflect a life lived with curiosity and courage. During COVID, she even began trekking to stay close to nature, adding yet another layer to her adventurous spirit. Sneha inspires us through her books, Deserving and The Echo of My Chalk. Together, these roles don't stand apart as separate identities but flow as chapters of one story, the story of a woman who continues to learn, create, and celebrate life in all its forms. Welcome, Sneha. Let's get started.
Hi, Anup. Thank you so much for inviting me for the podcast today. And I'm so excited about this. Right from the time I think we've been trekking together to the beginning of Adventra platform, I think this is an amazing journey, and I'm happy to be part of it today.
Sneha, recently you published your second book, The Echo of My Chalk. And so tell us a little bit about your book. What made you write that book? And it's a very interesting title that you have for your book.
Oh, thank you. It's a memoir of my journey as a teacher, the echo of my chalk. And the echo comes from, because of the lasting bonds that I have with my students even today. So I've left teaching, let's say, about 20 years ago. But we are still in touch, and they've been the pillars of strength for me, and that's why I thought I should write everything about that journey. And people were often surprised, oh, you're still in touch with your students. Oh, they're still a phone call away. So I took testimonials from them to understand what is it that makes us connect so strongly. And the whole book is a compilation of their testimonials and things that we do. And since I worked both in IT also, I could, correlate the two things that finally the bottom line principles of leadership or management is empathy, influence, integrity.
So, viewers and listeners, Sneha's book, The Echo of My Chalk, is not just a memoir. It's a gentle reminder or gentle book about for managers, leaders, mentors, and anyone working with people. You can download the book from Amazon. So,
Thank you so much.
Sneha, tell us about your travel journey. What inspired you to start traveling alone?
Alone. I don't know about alone. I started traveling more to connect with family and friends. Of course, I used to take my 3-year-old, 4-year-old son at that time. So uh, that's how it started, mainly for connection, and that remained the reason later on. Like when my friend she left Pune and went to Gwalior, so I went to Gwalior. So that's how this started traveling. If you talk about solo, as in me just being alone without my little son, also, then that happened when he came to Bangalore for his graduation, and then he would go to college, and I would then take a bus, tour the city, go outside. That became my first, experience of being totally alone, no responsibility, no bacha party around me. So I was really happy with that experience, and that's how I think my solo travel per
So
se
it just kind
started.
of happened. What that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
The solo
yeah,
travel.
yeah.
It was not something that you had considered that you wanted to do, or it was not a new idea as such,
No,
right?
no, not at all a new idea. It was more out of convenience, and yeah, it just came out to be like that. It was not a choice, nothing that I had dreamt of. Oh, one day I will do solo traveling. No, no, it just happened organically, and it was a beautiful discovery, I think.
So whenever you're traveling, whether you're traveling solo or in a group, there are always some surprises and some challenges. So especially when you are traveling solo, what challenges did you encounter, and how did you navigate those challenges?
I think on priority, when we are traveling solo, you're you are in charge of your own conditions and your own life up there. So you have to take care of your security and safety. So whatever decisions you take it securely. And I think at my age or the years that I have spent traveling, there is always, you have always done so many things already. So it's easier. Don't do anything extraordinary.
Okay.
So, enjoy your day during the day and see that you are in, sort of keeping your organizers aware. So, like Adventra has a very good feature about sharing live updates of where you are. So that becomes a good thing, and you feel secure in that
You mean
position.
live
Yeah,
tracking
yeah,
that
live tracking
that we
that you have.
allow
Yeah,
users to kind of have,
yeah.
right? Okay.
So it makes you feel safe. And I think that once you feel secure in yourself, you enjoy your solo trips. So whatever challenges come up, just deal with them calmly and patiently. And people are always helpful at such times because everyone knows that this is not the planned thing or not something that is anticipated. It's a surprise, it's a challenge at that moment of time. So everybody helps you out and is kind enough. So don't hesitate to ask for help when you
Okay, so
need
what you're
it.
saying is that you can ask for help,
Yeah.
but always think about safety.
Yeah.
And while actually you need to think about safety, even when you're traveling in a group, and especially if
Right.
you're going to a new place. But as a solo woman traveler,
Hmm.
you need to be more aware of that aspect and need to be careful about
Yeah,
that.
I think nowadays it is far more easy. Again, I'll refer to Adventra because see, when you all are giving me so many options, which trips to go for, where to stay, how to travel, when I have so much of choice to be made right at the beginning, then afterwards I don't have to fear anything. No, when I'm there, I just have to behave myself. I mean, not do get into any kind of fights or anything like that. That's the only thing we have to do. So I feel when Adventure takes care of you right from the beginning, there is nothing else you have to bother about.
So, how do you plan financially for your travels, and how do you say did you save while kind of managing your daily expenses? So, how did that work out for you? And were you obviously always financially savvy?
No, no, I'm very bad with numbers. I go more with gut feeling. But I think the saving thing started after my son was born. So I used to like to, save money for bigger things like for birthday parties and things like that, where others will not be willing to spend money and they'll say, no, no, no need to have such a big birthday party. So that's how I started. So I used to invest in or save in using fixed deposits. And so even my yearly travel that used to happen during Christmas holidays, I knew I'm going to travel in December. So I would create FDs so that I get the money by October or November so that I can book my tickets and things like that. That continued. And later on, after I lost my husband, my brother helped me with the savings and he introduced me to SIP and mutual funds. Just save consistently. I think the whole flaw is we invest a little and again withdraw money. So,
Regular saving.
yeah, so regular investments or consistency in investment.
So this reminds me of my days as a wealth manager, and we used to
Hmm.
always tell customers or clients to save regularly. And
Correct.
one of the like most often quoted goal was travel goal. So
Oh.
everybody invariably would have travel as a goal, and they want to save for that. So
Okay.
I think yeah, this kind of travel is such an important goal in everybody's life. And you've done some amazing adventures, and thanks to the all the planning that you did, right? And the advisory that your brother gave you. So you've done some amazing adventures like skydiving, right? And you've
Right.
also written about it on our platform. So what has been these the most exhilarating experience in your life and so far?
Yeah, so I'd like to name a few of the adventures that I did. One is like whitewater rafting in Kurg. Then I did scuba diving in Lakshadweep. I did snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh
And
wow!
yeah, that was really amazing.
And you must have seen amazing sea
Yes,
life, right?
absolutely. It's so beautifully, it just opens up a different world for you, and I never thought I would feel so good about it. And yes, skydiving did happen in Melbourne. That will remain always the most exhilarating
Experience.
experience. Yeah, that time, the moment that you're falling, actually, you're with the guide, the person is there with you, and he's covering you actually with his parachute and all that. But that moment when you fall and there's
And you see
no
it from the top,
voice,
you see it from the
yeah,
top, right?
and when the wind is so
Wow.
strong, you cannot even hear your own
And
voice.
by the way, I've seen that video,
Uh-huh.
and viewers and listeners, Sneha has written about her experience on our travelog page, and that video is also there. So I've seen that video,
Hmm.
and I can feel that the goosebumps, right? So
Yeah,
that's amazing, right?
it was a good
So
one.
how do you choose the destinations you visit, and what is are you more drawn to adventure, culture, or relaxation, or a mix of everything?
I think a mix of it. And it is about a calling. Something triggers me, and I get attracted to a certain place. And then it just comes up. Nothing is planned for years or something like that. No. Like, I'll give you an example of a place in Madhya Pradesh called as Pachmadi. It's a hill station.
Yes.
I heard about it about 25, 27 years ago. Somewhere it remained in my mind. For some reason, that hill station and that name. And I went to Nagpur just 2, 3 years ago. And then I got to know, oh, Pachmadi is nearby. So I went on
So
a
you went
solo
there.
trip to Pachmadi. It's like that. So it was quite surprising to see that place, and a very beautiful time I had. I met good people, and the trees over there really surprised me, actually. So it just happens organically, generally a mix of everything.
So, and you've had a lot of experiences, and you talked about Pachmadi, and so I'm sure you have a lot of favorite places that you have. So, what is your favorite, some of the favorite places that you had, and the experiences that you've had in those places?
There are lots of things, I think. Mm, but I feel where it is culturally and rich or historically rich, I tend to like those places. So I'd like to mention here about Hampi. I stayed there for a good 7 days. And I still feel I can do 3, 4 days more. So I think otherwise Hampi people go for just 2 days and say, "Oh, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this." But I like to really listen. Let's say there's a temple over there, and they have so much of history. I listen to every beat in that pillars, and it is
The musical pillars that you're
yeah,
talking about, right?
musical pillars. I mean, it is amazing that things that have been built in the 14th century are still with that music. So there's a place over there. Of course, it's cordoned off, but it is like if it was meant for, let's say, the dancers at that time. And but every step that you climb will have a beat.
Oh
So
wow,
from
okay.
the time she enters, the
The
music
music will
yeah,
play. Okay.
it's like so amazing to see that. And I spend time like that, seeing the architecture, hearing the stories. I hire guides to tell me these stories. Some of it could be exaggerated, but most of it is told with so much of passion and warmth and interest that I feel like I'm part of it. Like, okay, I also must have been there at that time. So
So
that's
by
how.
the way, you mentioned about Hampi.
Hmm?
So we have a runcation. So we have a concept of runcation,
Yes,
which
yes,
is
yes.
like people go and run
Hmm.
in a place.
Hmm.
So running has become very popular these days, right?
Hmm.
Marathons, people
Yeah.
run. So you can go and run. So
Right.
there's a Go Heritage run, which is
Mm-hmm.
planned in Hampi in January
Yes.
25th. And we have a kind of runcation plan where we are taking care of all the transport and stay from Bangalore as well as Hyderabad
Lovely.
and all the sightseeing.
Lovely.
So we are doing that. And because you
Please,
mentioned about Hampi,
yeah.
so I just reminded me that we have something going on for
Yeah,
Hampi
right.
also.
And the roads are really good in Hampi. So I'm sure your run will be too good an affair. Another place that I liked and took me by surprise was the run of Kutch. So I went to for the Run Utsav in Kutch, and I think that place is really good. It's showcased at international standards. It has that same kind of poise and beauty in that thing, and I feel everybody should
Should
visit
visit
the
that. And this is
Run.
the time to visit
Yeah,
Run of
this
Kutch,
is the
right? Till
time. Yeah,
February, right?
yeah, till
There's the Run
Feb.
of Kutch
Right.
festival going
The
on.
salt desert, the
Yeah.
camel ride, everything is so well planned and so well taken care of. You feel I've thoroughly enjoyed. I dressed up in all the costumes everywhere, and they are really enthusiastic about it. So when you're in that costume, eating that food, the
It kind of.
flavor, it really adds to the whole thing. And
So, how has travel helped you grow as a person, and what have you learned along the way when you've traveled?
help me grow as a person, one I would say is to take care of myself. Okay, being cautious a little bit. But it also taught me that I'm very adaptable as a person, that I go with the flow. I can adjust with whatever is there. And that I think was a very good discovery for myself, because it's always about how you talk to yourself that is important. And when once I realized that these are my strengths, I was more comfortable and it was easier for me. So travel taught me to think clearly, to think practically, and don't hesitate, again I'll say, to take help from people. They're there to tell you what
It
to do.
also
Yeah.
helps you, makes you wonder, right? Sometimes, like the amazing things which are there in the world, correct? About
Absolutely. See,
when you
nature,
travel.
the beauty, the whole aesthetics of the place is always, always unimaginable. And therefore, I like to spend time at one place. I don't like to do too many things in one day. I
It's not
like
like
to,
just touch a
huh,
place and
I
then
hate
be
that
done
touch
with
and
it,
go.
right?
Yeah, no,
It's not like a
yeah, no.
checklist kind of thing.
I like to just immerse myself and just be there, just keep watching it, chai pio.
Immersive
Yeah,
experiences, okay.
absolutely. All immersive experiences. I don't like to hurry up. This is done, this is done. And I will always find something that is unique or lesser known in that
In that
place.
place.
So,
So you have been teaching, or you were teaching, right?
hmm,
Kids from class one, fifth to tenth,
fifth to
fifth
tenth,
to
yeah.
tenth in secondary school, and with your like interest in travel, how do you think that kind of plays a role in education? And what was your experience? Did you bring in some of those experiences from your travel into the classroom?
Yes, travel is really helpful. Um, it helped me bring back real stories from different places. So while I was teaching, I had gone visited Gujarat, I had visited Noida, Delhi. These were like unknown to the children, and simple things like, let's say in English you ask them to write an essay, an hour at a railway station. It's very difficult for a child to imagine that, but I could now tell them what I do for an hour at the railway station, and through my stories they lived theirs and they could write better. And I bought in, if you look at it from the history and geography point of it, then I bought in those stories. And when I used to travel, I used to think about my students and I say, oh, they'll like to know this, or they would have liked this. So I, take pictures or little mementos or something like that, and bring it back to the classroom so they could relate, and I could add more depth and to my teachings of the textbook. The textbook will remain what it is, but you could add more to that.
Yeah, and I remember growing up, and I would be asked to write something about my train journey or visit to Taj Mahal, right? And unless you have visited these
Yeah,
places, right,
yeah,
it's difficult to kind of write about these, right? So I think it
absolutely.
just makes you kind of be more expressive and more articulate in terms of
Yes,
writing about those places and also kind of learning new things, right?
absolutely. And I think I
And like you
can,
said about musical pillars,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And those historical places, right?
Till you
Otherwise,
see
history can
it,
become so
yeah,
boring,
till
right?
you see it and till you feel it, you cannot imagine it in any other form.
So, what advice would you give to women, especially 50s or beyond, about travel? And they may be hesitant about traveling alone. So, what do you think they should do?
I think they should just begin. Start, Start now, start small. And traveling is about more than anything else, it's about your own resilience. And you come to know more about yourself. So just begin, and it's an attitude. Once you decide, you'll go in for it. And we have to remember that at 50 or above, you've already faced so many challenges, struggles, you've done so many things for everyone else, planned things for your children, your spouse, and other family members. So it is part of you. Now you have to just apply all that to yourself. So it is about how you talk to yourself. What are you saying to your own mind about it?
What you tell about,
Yeah,
tell to
so that,
yourself.
yeah, that is very important. So once you decide, just decide to go and then plan. And then again, I would point out, it's very easy today to plan. And again, I'd like to mention Adventra here, because in one platform you get choice of places, choice of adventures, options are there. Then you have, you don't even have to bother about money, because you have your budget feature over there, which helps you decide very easily. And I think that is the key factor. What is one looking at? One is looking at convenience, budget, time. And when this is already there in the calendar in Adventra, it's pretty easy. And when you're out, you can split the expenses, you can note down the expenses. That I think makes life very easy for a person like me who's bad with numbers. Then now it is easy, just
And you
note
know
it.
where the money is going,
Yeah, not
right?
only that, you just have to note it down, and then it helps you split it
Yeah,
up. So you
plan
don't
it
have to
out.
think, Arey, this fellow has given 10 rupees, that fellow has given 100 rupees. All that hassle is now nullified, and that's a good thing. So I think people who are 15 plus, they have more access, more awareness, more confidence, and apps like Adventure really, really make it easy for us now.
So when we were growing up, travel was not so prevalent, right?
Mm.
So now, of course, so people are traveling more.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone who's not traveled before
Mm-hmm.
and thinks that is it too late for them to travel or explore new adventures? What do you think about that, right? And what would your advice be to such people?
My advice again would be to begin now. Begin as is, where is, here and now is my funda. Um, it is about what you want. Travel, everyone is doing. If you want to travel, you travel. Once you decide to travel, then you will take the next step towards it. So if it's not on your mind, if you say, I may not do it, then you'll hold back. But if you say, I want to go, that's enough to take the next step. And then you start figuring it out, you become aware, you start reading, researching, asking. Nowadays there are agents, there are apps like Adventra that help you decide. That power of decision is what is important. Then everything else will fall in place, that you decide for yourself, I have to go. That is important, I think.
So I think what you're saying is that it's never too late,
It's never too
too
late.
late, and just kind of just start that journey, right?
Yes.
Whenever you want to,
Yes.
right? Because and you can always explore new experiences. And with all the information being available these days, it's become much easier
Yeah.
to travel,
It
and
is. It is
kind of you
about
should definitely explore new
yeah.
experiences.
Exploration of the place still comes next. It is exploring yourself. You discover so much about your own
It's a
self.
discovery
Yeah,
about
it's a
yourself.
discovery, because there are so many things you don't know about your own self. So that you're not, if you're 50 and above and you've never traveled before also, I would say it is about, it's not walking away from responsibility or anything, it is walking towards a fuller version of yourself. And that joy, that freedom, that is something unmatchable.
So I had gone to Everest Base Camp like
Hmm.
5 6 years back, and what one thing that I was wondering is that when the first Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary went to
Hmm.
Everest, right? I was just wondering, like, the
How?
situation was not so conducive, and people they would have really kind of gone through a lot of hardship to kind
Right.
of travel, and now it's become much more convenient. But this whole thing about exploring something unexplored, right,
Yeah.
really helps you just
Right.
discover new places, discover yourself, which is
Yes.
what you're saying, right? So in terms of your now journey for travel, what are some of the items on your bucket list from travel perspective?
Oh
What are
my
the
God.
some new places that you would like to visit in the future?
I don't usually plan things, but two things for the international level is one is I would say is Northern Lights in
Oh, wow.
Scandinavia. I'd like to see because
That's very very
yeah,
what I would say scenic and beautiful experience.
yeah, so I only heard about it, and I think it has nature's magic to it. It's something that you cannot replicate. So I would like to see that. And maybe Japan, the cherry blossom, which is quite talked about now. That is another thing.
Tell you the season in February.
Yeah. And of course, I want to go to all the Northeast places because I meet a lot of Northeast people now, and I like talking to them. So I want to see the places where they come from. So like let's say Meghalaya or Sikkim, Assam. Then you have Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland. So those are the places I'd like to go, but I'd like to do it one at a time, not rush together. Or I go for a longer duration and
Cover
cover
some
them.
few more
Yeah,
places, right?
yeah, and cover them at leisure. I don't want to rush through.
So, as someone who's embraced a new chapter, no, of life, how do you see the future of solo travel for single women and people who want to, or especially women wanting to travel alone?
I think it's very bright. It's very bright for solo travelers, for women travelers. One is times have changed. I've seen people traveling without maps, without Google,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
asking people, taking help from people. So that becomes really, that is where the safety part can get a little dicey. But today you are independent. You can read and write. You can go anywhere. So it's quite easier now. The awareness is more, confidence is more. People are more financially secure. That also adds to that thing. Plus, there are a lot of, I think, women's group who are already taking
Doing that.
women. So you're solo, yet you have the support. You're not totally solo as in all alone. Like I have traveled to many places like that. That's a different feeling altogether. But if you don't want to start like that, you can go in a women's group and have the support of other people who are
Fellow
traveling with,
travelers.
yeah, fellow travelers. So that's also a lot of fun. And I think women, it looks very good to me because they now people want to travel also. Since we are all sharing our experiences, the way we approach travel has changed. So earlier it was done more out of necessity. Today it's not like that. We do
It's
it
more
for
out of
joy.
adventure
Yeah,
and
yeah,
joy of
joy,
traveling.
freedom, all that we like to do.
So let's change things a little bit. We'll
Okay.
do a rapid fire questions,
Okay.
Sneha. So tell me, early morning flight or late night adventure?
Early morning flight.
Luxury stay or charming boutique hotel?
Luxury stay. I like to pamper myself.
Destination you could return to forever?
Melbourne.
City that surprised you the most?
Varkala in Kerala.
Is it? Why?
Yeah.
I have to ask you this question.
I didn't expect it to be like that. It has a good balance of old and new.
Okay.
And of course, the cliffhanger thing is there, the sea is there. So it has a mix of everything. And it has some very unique features that I relate to my childhood. So probably
Okay.
that's why I liked it.
So mountains, beaches, or bustling cities?
Beaches.
Beaches. Okay. That's why probably Varkala, right? So one item you always overpack.
Surprisingly, that is first aid kits. I don't know why I pack them. Maybe as a school teacher, I used to take them, so
Oh
now also
yes,
I pack them. And the worst
the
part
risk
is,
mitigation.
yeah,
Huh?
maybe whatever you call it. But the worst part of it, I don't carry it when I'm sightseeing.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's still in my bag in the hotel room.
Okay. Weirdest thing that
The
you've brought on a trip.
weirdest thing that I bought on a trip, I think for a trek, I had taken a cabin bag and gone.
Oh yeah.
That was my
Like a
first trek.
suitcase.
Yeah, a proper cabin bag size thing I had
Okay,
taken on a
okay.
trek. Fortunately, we didn't have to climb much with it, but
Okay.
that was the most stupidest thing I've done.
First thing you do when you get to a hotel room.
I check bathroom taps and toiletries.
Okay. The snack you never board a flight without.
A packet of biscuits and mint.
Okay. Are you a planner or a let's just wander explorer?
I think let's just wander. That suits
So
me
you like
better.
a moment when you thought, this is why I travel alone.
This is why I travel alone is because of delays and discussions that people get involved in. I don't like both of them.
Okay. First stamp on your passport.
Dubai 2007.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So that was a long time back,
Yeah.
almost 20 years back,
Yeah.
right? So to wrap up, so what message would you like to give to others or your travelers who are in a similar situation and navigating life after a major loss, right, like you had, and thinking about embarking on their own travel adventures?
Trust your own instincts. Loss can actually, again, just change the path, but you are still alive and you can still travel. And treat it as a discovery channel for your own self plus the world. So the world becomes, or places become just a means. While you're traveling in the journey, through the process, so many things happen to you, within you, that is irreplaceable. So the place becomes just a point. You have to begin anyway. So it could be something very close and nearby. Just start.
Just start.
And yeah, just start and go and be with yourself. You have to, the bottom line in the whole thing is you have to be comfortable in your own skin. Once you're comfortable with yourself, then it doesn't matter whether there are 5 people around, 500 people around, or no one is there. Once you're at peace with yourself, then you enjoy the place. It could be a waterfall, it could just be a different tree, it could be a flower, anything, but you can spend time with that and relate with that. So, for those kind of moments, it is important to begin and go
Go.
wherever you want.
No, so amazing story, Sneha, and the way you embraced life
Mm-hmm.
after your like personal loss also, and you kind of planned your finances and
Mm-hmm.
made sure that you enjoy your travel and you continue your travel and you continue doing that. So that's amazing, and I'm sure like people, the viewers and listeners would take a lot of lessons as well as I
Oh.
would say, that just inspiration from your story. So thank you for being on the podcast today, and wish you all the best in your future travel. And sure, like we'll see you on some of those travels with Adventra also.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thanks to Adventra for making travel so much more easier for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sneha.